the one waiting, and it's just like... Yeah, it's just like, it's the same thing. I think the funniest bit is when you realize it's one of her baby teeth.
That's a big ass.
Yeah, it was the one and only time she ever fully transformed into a Grim, and her mother had to chase her down. And her tooth came out.
Dumb child.
Looking at Fenrir, she gets this from you.
Yeah.
Mm.
Look at the back over
No, you ate the headstone. There's a difference. But the other thing is, technically she was given it by Senna, and then gave it to him. Because Senna, this happens, this is about the time, a little bit after the time when she chased Empress up a tree. I would love this cat's ability to sleep.
last night.
Snoring. Just gone. She is sauced. Also, don't you love he's just wearing, like, modern clothing? Like, he's over here in just, like, slacks and shit, and then there's Eclipse. But, then again, Kraft is making all of her outfits. Sorta, but not. If you asked him, he'll say no. If you asked her, she might agree. Except she'll also say no.
So they're on a date.
Sorta. So the context is basically they were waiting for the kids to finish filming with DJ Grooves. And Eclipse was getting antsy. So he's just like, alright, let's go for a walk. And they went to go screw around by the fountain. Well, we were filming. Yeah, fuck the parade owls. I like the parade owls. I do not. Fuck you. This is why I'd rather get blown up on a train. I like murder way better. Yeah, 100%. Get it from their dad. You remember who their dad actually is in this AU. I'm still not sure if I'll keep that plot canon or not, but it's still funny. Let me see if it wants to... Oh, it looks like it's going finally. Where's the rating? Ah, here it is. Wow, it really is all over my socks. I had it... I didn't realize it went through my sneakers. They sure are taking a while today. She sighed as they waited in the lobby. Should we go back and see if they need help? Prince? He shook his head and stood up holding a hand to her. How about we just walk around? They have your cell phone number, they can... What's the word? He furrowed his brow. Text us when done. I suppose, she frowned. I just worry. Those are my girls, she huffed. You really taken to that mom role, huh? He chuckled as she took his hand and helped her to her feet with a grin. He gave a soft smile. You're a good mom. She turned red as her hair flew and looked away ashamed. I'm not their mom. I'm just their data snatcher. I'm his personal assistant, so I'm just doing my job as kid taker.
Oh, this is before.
Yeah. She squeaked when the ghost pressed his cheek to hers. You're their mom. Tough luck. He snickered. Oh no, he has permission to do that by this point. Like, he has permission. He's allowed to be touchy-feely. He has consent. You're their mom. Tough luck. He snickered. Even Snatcher would say that. He sneered. She huffed and puffed her cheeks up. I can't be their mother, even if he's so She squeaked as the ghost prince sighed and pulled on her cheeks. Stop it, Prince! Only if you start to be negative, I'm allowed to do this, he snickered. And right now, I think owls couldn't help but snicker at the couple as the former prince teased the wolf. Ah, to be young in love. We aren't young. They looked at each other with a laugh as the owl smiled. Snatcher let go and patted the top of Eclipse's hair with a small chuckle. Why don't we take a walk? So, if you asked one of them, they might say it's a date, but if you ask the other, they'll probably deny it. You know? But yeah, she won't say that she's... She won't say they're her mom. She just says they're her girls, but she won't admit to... Well, you know what I meant. She won't admit to being mom. Your mom. Dear little mom. Also, he doesn't really like them calling him dad, but he won't correct him. Oh yeah, no, they're fully aware.
Okay.
They're more than aware, and they...
Okay, say what Tell her.
That's... Oh, let me see if I can find it. There's one where he's literally hiding up in their spaceship instead of talking to Eclipse, and Hat Kid straight out calls him out on his bullshit. He's still hiding? No. You hiding from Eclipse again? No, I do not hide. I'm just... The lighting's better here. Legit, he says the lighting's better. Like a Fruit Loop. Ducks. Come on. Wow, that's not a name I'd expected to see in the pocket. Phineas Gage. I stole a book about him from the library once. Still have it. Because it's fascinating. Well, it was more of I borrowed it and never gave it back, and then I graduated. Let's see. You'll laugh. Hair tie. There it is. This is the one where she calls him out on, like, you're hiding. Are you hiding from Eclipse again? Hat asked as she rummaged in her closet. The ghost scoffed from his perch above her pillows and waved a clawed hand as he worked on the scarf. I am not, he sneered. I don't hide. I'm just... The lighting is better here. Right. She rolled her eyes. So, how goes the whole Prince and the Snatcher thing? She pulled a ball of yarn out. Huh, didn't know I still had some. What? He raised a brow as he crossed his legs. Ah, dweller yarn, she frowned. Hey, why don't you add some to her scarf? Why? She can already stand on the platforms. He paused his work. What could it do? Besides, dweller masks make her uncomfortable. Do they? Pat frowned. But I figured if it's in her scarf, maybe she can trigger it so she can use the purple platforms as well. Like a reverse mask. But yeah, no, she fully knows that he's Prince. She knew that, like... I want to say she found it out... Oh, I think she found it out, when Eclipse attacked Vanessa. I think that was when Hat Kid figured it out. Let's see if I can find it. Contractually obligated family life. And a cougar. Too many teeth. Floozy. I still love that one. She straight up asked, is the prince a floozy? Yeah, pretty much. When you actually want the wasp.
Like somewhere around. And I have a bridge to find. I will break into the walls.
They're roommates. They're business partners.
Are they partners?
They were roommates. Yeah, no, it was Eclipse's idea to get him modern clothing, though. Since he's been working with Conductor. You should get some more clothes. Instead of, walking around like that. What's wrong with my outfit? It's old. What about your outfit? You wear one outfit. I've got like 3. I just don't wear them much.
Actually, they're all the same.
I didn't pick this outfit out anyway, I don't think. I think someone gave it to me. Which is true. In a weird way, though, Rue kind of picked it out. Because Senna picked it out with Rue's memories. So the outfit is somewhat based off of how Rue likes things.
I can't touch myself. No, no.
But I don't take criticism.
Do you want to see what I've done?
Who did you kill?
No. It's so nice.
Okay. That's a little sus.
And then some things. Oops.
Hi, honey. Nice.
Okay.
It's just a tweak. What is this? Starfield.
I can't tell you.
Scar. Lessons from an old bird. Legally a bird now with papers.
What's on your mind, Oh, I feel like you're selling me things today.
Evil noodle now, please. I think Hackett makes a comment in that one too. Kisses for Excalibur.
What is the cut thing? Oh, what a twisty twist.
Yeah, no, it's from something the other night.
Mm,
Nice.
mm. Just so I can move it down like this.
Oh, that's what Starfield was. This is when they met her dad. Yeah. Oh no, they met him in person first.
And back from the dead. Don't suck this up.
Yeah, because she remembered something. Because he doesn't care about her, mind you. He sighed as he rubbed the back of his head. A little warning. Sorry, the flowers. I just don't feel very good, she admitted shakily. You are a little pale. We should just go home. He sighed and reached to fix her hair some with a huff. He took her hands gently, inspecting them. The wound's closing already. Thank God. Before that, she turned and looked in the distance and pointed. Girls, that way. What is there? The Twilight Bell? Pat rubbed her neck and thought. I think. Twilight Bell. Eclipse repeated as she looked at the ghost. I want to see it before we go home. She spread her wings out. I I think it has something in my past. He fluffed up. Are you serious? You remembered something? Bo asked as the young woman picked her up in her arms. Snatcher grabbed Tat as they took off towards the bell. It's vague, but I know it has something to do with that tear. She huffed. And I feel longing? I'm not sure, but there's something.
Oh, you want to see the thing.
That's exactly what it is. It's also because she's tied to the starfields.
It's not. Wait.
Snatcher huffed as he flew beside her, holding on to Hat Kid, who was clinging to her hat. This is a little far from Subcon, he admitted. So how would you have something here? I don't know, she sighed as she shifted bow so she'd not drop her. She looked at the looming bell as it came into view and landed on the platform. But I know the flowers and... She looked up inside of the bell, her eyes changing color. I know this! This is... She gasped, starting to smile. My father! She beamed, excited. Snatcher, my dad! He's on the other side. I know this. This attaches to the starfields. You shouldn't go there. The badge seller's voice pulled her attention and she huffed. You of all people are more drawn to the star to stay in the field of stars, little songbird. Don't call me songbird, she hissed. Her wings and hair ruffled in her anger. Her name is Eclipse. Snatcher wrapped around her as he set Hat down. Apologies. The badge seller sighed. You're flying, it seems. So what? She frowned. I'm no songbird, and I'm going. She ran ahead. Yeah. She doesn't know it's her brother, by the way.
I know that.
Yeah. She ran ahead after putting bow down. Come on, Snatcher! The girls laughed, running after her as she looked up at the pole. She jumped up and grabbed it, causing the echoing bell to sing. She let go as the air shifted and they were pulled into the twilight. She grinned as she looked around. She clapped her hands excited and looked at Snatcher. We can find out what I am, and my name, and... She felt his hand over her eyes as he chuckled. Calm down, he cooed, making the girls snicker. He glared at them. So, how do we even find him? She frowned and moved his hand as she thought. Fly around, I guess. She snickered as she grabbed Hat Kid this time. Can you carry Bo? Yes. No, he's... Fenrir? He is dead. It's the afterlife. Yep. He picked her up as she giggled. What? So much for only one time, huh? She sneered. Shut up, I can leave you. You will not? Eclipse huffed as she jumped up. She looked at the dwellers and the glowing goats. Her eyes sparkled. I wonder if they know Star, she gasped. Star? Hat asked as she flew up near. I don't recall details, but I know he's kinda... He made this? Kinda. He's friends with my father. Yeah, it's Goat. Eclipse explained, flying over to one of the goats. Excuse me, is Star here? Star? The goat's voice was deep and rumbly. Whoa, they talk! Hat gasped. Hat, don't be rude, Snatcher scowled. Yes, I'm looking for my father. He was friends with Star, and I know he was made to be a star. Made to be a star? Bo frowned. Like the Horizon myths? Eclipse's hair fluffed up a bit and she nodded. Star. Friend of Star. He looked at the wolf. Ah, you're the Fenrir's child, the goat exclaimed. Papa's name is Fenrir, she repeated to herself. She looked at Snatcher. My father is Fenrir! She beamed in excitement. Fenrir, the wolf of the end? Snatcher frowned and looked at her with a sigh. I really did pick something up odd in my woods. He pinched the middle of his face, annoyed. The Fenrir is far off, but if you're here, he may come to you. The goat chuckled and looked at... Yeah. The goat chuckled and looked at the specter and the girls. Don't make more trouble. No promises, Hat laughed. The goat shook his head and pointed. Head that way to find the master. He may help you find the Fenrir sooner. Thank you! Eclipse grinned as she took off. Snatcher, isn't this exciting? He chuckled, smiling softly. If it makes you happy, sure, it can be. So long as you remember we still have to return to Subcon. She blinked. Well, yeah, why wouldn't we? He stared. Because you found your past? She laughed. I still have work in Subcon. But, she grinned, if Papa knows me, then I can figure out the other half of my quest, so I can help Prince Aurelius. He laughed loudly as they flew. Sure, sure. Bo snickered. Aw, you like she wants to stay for you, she whispered. Shut up, I will drop you. He threatened as he chased after the wolf. You'll make her mad if you do, Bo teased, and he spread his arms out, making her gasp as she fell, but he caught her with his tail and threw her back to his arms. She balled her fist up. Jerk! Try me, he sneered. Hey, wasn't Badge Seller being really weird? Hat looked over her shoulder at the bickering. He seems to know Eclipse has something to do with this place. Come to think of it, he always says weirdly specific things to me. Eclipse frowned. Snatcher, what do you think? I can kill him if he makes you upset, he offered as he flew beside her. She giggled. Nah, I just have to wonder. She stopped and squinted. Are those stars getting closer? She pointed to the sky shifting, the inky blackness seeming to move. Oh, Peck. Snatcher grabbed her protectively, wrapping her and the girls as he hissed. A large black wolf with stars on its pelt emerged from the dark sky, bright silver eyes staring as it grew closer and larger than the group. It towered over them. Eclipse stared and slowly began to smile. She put Hat in Snatcher's arm as if she broke from his grip. Hey, Eclipse, Papa! She beamed, flying up and nuzzling the wolf best she could. That's your father. Snatcher tensed up and scowled. They didn't know that he was gonna be a wolf because she's human. I mean, I guess this explains the wolf thing, but if that's her dad, does it make her a grandpa? Hat snickered from the ghost's arms. My little moon song, my pop! The wolf's voice had a thick accent as he spoke. He pressed against the young woman as his tail wagged. Look how beautiful you've grown. She sat on his muzzle with a big grin. My, it's been so long, so long. He laughed and sat in the space. He looked at the tree and tilted his head to the side. Oh, aren't you a sight? He looked at the ghost with a small snarl. Why are you, of all persons, with my darling pup? He's my boss, Papa, she giggled. A child of the sun and a daughter of the stars. He sighed and lay down, massive paws crossed. Oh, moon song, what did you get into? I don't know. I can't remember, she admitted sheepishly. He frowned. Oh? Yeah, she showed up in my woods without her memories. Snatcher floated. Snatcher floated up and set the girls next to Eclipse and floated in the air. When she realized her father was here, she got excited. I see. If your memories were lost, I'm afraid I cannot help, he sighed. I was killed when she was only 6. I can tell you about her life before that, but only briefly, as I was often doing my work and not home. Can you at least tell us what she is? Snatcher pinched his face in a ways. I'm tired of finding new things and being confused. Good question, the wolf chuckles. Or, her name. I can keep calling her Eclipse, but if she has a real name, it makes documents more legal. Snatcher sighed. Eclipse? Yeah, she chirped. When I met him, there was a lunar eclipse, so he named me Eclipse since I didn't know my name. I see. Well then, that is your name, my little moon song. Eh? The ghost and woman both gasped, confused. Well, as I said, I died when you were 6, so I wasn't able to see your naming ceremony. So if you don't recall, and he found Senna. The wolf chuckled. Naming ceremony? Snatcher scowled. She wasn't just named at birth? No, you see, she's my daughter. Names are a bit of a... He frowned. How to put this? The wolf flicked an ear. Names are very important to us. We don't want to give a name without meaning or an idea of the child. Normally, we're given nicknames in youth, and upon our 18th birthday, we're properly named with a unique... With a name unique to us as a being. I was named Fenrir for my wolf nature and blackened coat. Oh, so you aren't the wolf of the end. Snatcher gave a sigh of relief, though you are impressive. Oh, he's not. His daughter, on the other hand. Yeah. The wolf gave a loud laugh, nearly throwing his daughter and the 2 aliens. I am not the wolf of the end, but my family is said to carry the blood of him. I am merely a Grim, a Fagard dog for the dead, he explained. But should we fall to despair, we may become a wolf of the end. Fagard dog, Eclipse mumbled and looked at her hand. So I'm at least part Fey, huh? You, my dear, are all Fey. Just 2 types, he explained. That explains the ears! Hat gasped, shifting to reach for her earrings. She pulled back. Hat, no, leave my ears alone. I'm sure Papa already knows without seeing. Yes, I assume... Yeah, but I assume your ears are more like your mother's now. As a pup. Oh, as a pup. His tail wagged. How adorable you are with your little ears and tail, my little wolf pup. She laughed. I bet it was silly to see. She nuzzled the large wolf happily. So I'm a Fae, and I wasn't given a name until I was 18. She frowned. Am I over 18? He looked at... He looked at the ghost. How old are you now? Huh? Snatcher scowled. I'm 326. Why? 324, he stated to the woman who paled a bit. I'm sorry, I'm how old? If that child of the sun is 326, you are 324. You're 2 years younger. The wolf chuckled. I see. She pursed her lips and scratched her cheek. I'm legal? She jested. Snatcher laughed loudly. Legal for what? She gave him a cheeky grin. I don't know. What do you think?
Wait a minute.
And yet your relationship is professional. Hat mumbled. Wait. Hey, Grandpa. Grandpa? The wolf wagged his tail. Can she turn into a big wolf too? Do you have wings? Hat played with his fur. How come you're here? I'm dead. Technically, this is merely a fragment of my soul. He chuckled. I do not have wings. That is, she shouldn't have them either. But I suppose a child such as she is full of surprises. And that's all I have written on that one. He's so happy to be a granddad, though. Take or leave you, though, bitch boy.
You don't know. You're questionable.
Yeah, he knows straight up looking at Rue that Rue is Rue. Yeah, pretty much. Oh, he will. That was more of a nightmare for Snatch, bitch. Snatcher waking up in a cold sweat. Don't like that. Pretty much. Everything could stop her. And freaking tastic. Rip to you. It's because Flick's there.
It's always. It's either raining or it's just the bugs.
I was gonna say.
I want my bugs.
Rip to you. Yes. That's why you have to go island hopping. This is the one where she nearly killed Vanessa. Yeah, Snatcher stopped her. Yep, it is. He wants you to go to Vanessa's. Eclipse took the contract and clicked her tongue and rolled it up. Alright, I'll go with you because I'm not letting you go alone. Is it dangerous? Hat asked as she walked beside the woman whose silver hair bounced as she walked. He said something in the attic he needs. She sighed. From everything I've heard, it's incredibly dangerous. The snow was from her. Eclipse shrugged as they got to the bridge. Come here. She picked her up and ran, jumping the gap easily. She set her down as they set off into the cold. Hat Kid held onto her hand as she shivered. Eclipse looked down and took her scarf off and wrapped it around the child. She winced as her neck ached, but she ignored it. It's so warm! Hat Kid giggled and nuzzled into the red fabric. I have a pretty high base temperature, so... She shrugged. I actually don't get cold easily. That's why I still don't get how I got a cold. A cold's a virus, not because you're cold. The little alien snickered as she looked at the purple wall and frowned. Eclipse walked right through and she jolted when she was separated. Kiddo? Eclipse turned. Oh, right. Did you make one of those little masks the little ones wear? She asked and popped her head through the purple barrier. I did. She reached into her hat and pulled the pink fox mask out and put it on, eyes glowing as she jumped through. Good! Eclipse grinned and picked her up. Seems there's a lot hidden in the ice. She jumped on the green platforms with a chiming bell, avoiding hitting the bells. She looked at the ice wall and sighed. Wanna bomb it? Yes. Hat grabbed the cherry. Hackett grabbed the cherry and the dweller merged into it and wung it out, shattering the ice with a loud crash. Eclipse picked her up as they headed deeper through the caverns, and suddenly it opened wide. The snow fell faster as their boots crunched the snow. Walking towards the looming manor, Eclipse felt the sensation on her neck tighten. She gripped her shirt collar with a grimace. You okay? Hackett looked up as she tightened her hand. Yeah, my neck just hurts when I take it off. Old wounds, I think. She mumbled as they got closer. She snarled seeing the statues and picked the kid up, tearing off to the side. Whoa! Hat gripped her tightly as she looked to see the headless statues move slightly and squeaked. If they notice you, they normally won't stop, Eclipse explained. I've been trying to shatter them all, but they always show back up. She looked up. What are the odds the top window is locked and we can't just go in that way? She snickered. She set the girl down by the basement door as it shot open and scowled. Wait here. I'm gonna go check the window. Can I go in the basement? At least, it's cold. She shivered and handed the woman her scarf back. Eclipse took it and wrapped it around with a huff. Fine, but don't go into the full manor. Hide if she's near. I don't know what she can do after 300 years, but she can't be human anymore. She jumped up on the roof. She bounced around until she got to the back balcony and messed with the frozen shut door with a sigh. She peered inside. Something seemed familiar, but she couldn't place it. She jumped back down with a loud thud, denting the ground from impact, and headed inside. She groaned as she stepped straight into water. Kiddo? She looked around and paused near the broken chains. She tilted her head and ran a hand over the outline of the victim forgotten to time. Somehow her chest tightened. Kid? She asked again and heard no response. She sighed. She must have moved into the manor. She heard footsteps above creaking. She sloshed through the water near the cracked door and stepped out. Who's there? A sickeningly sweet voice called into the house. She frowned. So that was Vanessa. She crept out and noticed a few doors and headed inside curiously. She had to find the kid. She looked around the kitchen and the piano room. She grabbed a few books, flipping through them. Law books, she scoffed. She wondered if Snatcher would like the selection. She brushed her fingers along the spines and paused at one without a label. She took it down and looked inside. And then there's a date with X's. Journal of Prince. The name is scratched out. Well, Mother always said when you're unsure to write your thoughts down. Today, I moved to Subcon to join Vanessa in Subcon. It seems, despite everything, she still wishes to be wed. I'm moved to tears that even after my father's death and the destruction of Solgario, she still loves me so. I was worried about what her mother might think, but she seems on board with it as well. I'm currently living in a small home in the woods while the Summer Manor undergoes reconstruction to prevent another accident like Celeste. It's been suggested that I continue my studies so I can better support Vanessa upon the day, hopefully far off, when her mother dies and she becomes queen. While I am only now a prince entitled due to my engagement, I wish nothing more than make sure Vanessa keeps that bright smile on her face. How I love her. She flipped through it with a confused expression. A journal, huh? She frowned. Prince. I need to ask Snatcher about him. I wonder if he may be able to help. She bit her glove and pulled it off as she shoved it inside her little pocket dimension, along with a few of the law books and a few she found interesting. I don't think she'll mind. She snickered as she pulled her glove back on. She heard shuffling upstairs and moved to peek in the hall, seeing the room across open wide. She looked at the frozen folks inside the room with a frown and ran a hand over their frozen faces. How could she? She grumbled and headed up the stairs. She walked quietly on the toes of her boots as she sniffed the air. It seemed she must be elsewhere. She looked at the various doors and sighed. She'd have to check them all, it seemed. She pressed her ear to one and opened it as quietly as she could, stepping in. She looked at the knocked-over wardrobe and sighed at the iced mafia man in it. She grumbled lowly, looking around and finding another journal. Is this the prince's as well? She wondered and flipped it open to read. It's messed up, she noted, and frowned as she read the increasingly paranoid writing. She clicked her tongue as her hands traced over scattered papers. She found an old letter and snickered. This prince seems like a real dork. Such cheesy lines. She sighed as she looked in the next room and froze as she read the paper she found. She thought of the basement, those chains. She pulled the journal from her pocket dimension and flipped through it again. She felt tears forming as a burning rage began to settle. She grit her teeth as she felt her claws sharpen. She headed out with a burning glare and tears falling down her marked cheeks. The red glowed as she looked for the woman. She saw the trail of her dress and dropped to all fours, chasing her as her bones cracked. Vanessa, she howled. Hackett jolted as she held the timepiece in her hands. She heard a scream and her eyes grew wide. Oh no. She peeked down the stairs in time to see Eclipse and Vanessa break through a window into the snow. She fumbled with her hat to try and get her teleporter working. She slammed the button and dropped straight on top of the ghost, who yelped in shock as she fell through him to the ground. Kid! He hissed as he looked at her frightened face, snickering. Not the time, she gasped with tears. Eclipse and Vanessa are fighting. She's gonna kill Eclipse. He froze. What? Why is she there? He growled and gripped her shirt, lifting her angrily. Eclipse came to help me get the thing from the attic. It was just a timepiece, she coughed. She's trying to find another way, and I headed up by myself. But when I got the timepiece, I heard commotion, and they flew out a window. I think there was blood, she cried softly. Snatcher grimaced as he held her and began to fly towards the bridge. Boss? A minion gasped when he spun around from the ghost's boots, crunched the snow as he ran through the frozen village, the kid clinging to him as he ran. He jumped through the ice tunnel as he heard the screaming in the distance. He grimaced and ran faster, flying as he did to increase his speed. He gasped, seeing the torn clothing on the ground and blood on the white snow. No, no. He set the kid down and ran, but stopped in shock. While he expected Vanessa to be the one harming Eclipse, instead the half-wolf was standing above her, growling. Blood and saliva dripped from her jaw onto the snow. Sharp white fangs stuck from her mouth as her bright eyes were focused on the red-eyed shadow woman on the ground. Vanessa gurgled as Eclipse raised her claws to attack, but was grabbed and pulled back. Snatcher placed his hands over her eyes and used his other hand to hold her arm. That's enough. She choked on a sob. She deserves it, she cried, a voice a mix of howl and human speech. But her blood doesn't need to be on your hands. He was glad he had no heart for being near Vanessa. He was glad he had no heart for being near Vanessa had him panicked. He felt Eclipse's face shift, slowly returning to normal as she cried, his hand firmly covering her eyes. He noticed he had returned to human form and shifted back to Noodle as he uncovered her eyes. Come on.
Noodle.
My. Vanessa weakly reached out as he scooped the shivering wolf and alien up. He shot a glare. You killed your prince, so don't even try to call for him. He growled, heading back, blaming his shivering on the cold. Snatcher. Shut up, don't talk. She whimpered as she clung to him, shivering. He sighed and headed towards the treehouse. Hackett frowned and shifted to reach for Eclipse's face and touched it. Are you a werewolf? She asked with bright eyes. You aren't hurt? I hurt. A lot, she grimaced. My body is aching. She admitted as she was sitting in the chair with a scowl. She clawed me, sure. She brushed her bangs back, showing where she had been clawed over her face. She looked at her tattered clothing with a heavy... Oh, what a possum. I like this outfit, too. You did this yourself, Snatcher scolded as he messed around in the wardrobe in the tree. I have something here. He tossed it to her. She took it confused, wincing as she moved to unfold it. She frowned. Snatcher. She narrowed her eyes. Why do you have clothes in my size? I got them from that shopkeeper. He huffed and moved the kid off the woman. Stop that, she said. She hurts. That was so cool, though. I knew you couldn't be a wolf. I don't... No, that's not the right term. Eclipse moved to take her ruined clothing off. She gave a sigh of relief at the fact her underwear was fine. Hackett stared in awe. You have so many scars. Eclipse tensed up as she pulled the gray shirt on and fastened it. Yes, I do. She frowned as she winced and leaned back in the chair with a sigh as she moved to undo her ruined boots, but Snatcher had already started removing her laces. She tilted her head. You? Hold still, he mumbled and threw the remains on the floor. He checked her claw marks and frowned. They heal fast. No wonder you never get injured with how stupid you are. Mm-hmm. She tiredly leaned against the red fabric. She flinched when the ghost put his hand on her eyes. Sleep. We'll discuss this later. I want the full story. Mm-hmm. She mumbled as she closed her eyes. She's so cool. Hackett grinned and flinched when the ghost flicked her forehead. Do not go dragging others into your contracts. I'll formally ban help. She could have been seriously hurt. But you sent me there, she gasped. What if I got hurt? I don't care if you get hurt, but you're small enough to hide in the various places Vanessa has. It's also a pecking hole in the basement straight to the attic. He growled. She winced as he yelled and clung to the sleeping woman. She looked at her and the ghost with a frown. He sighed heavily as he sat on the table with a scowl. He pulled out some paper and began writing on it. What are you doing? Do I have to sign another thing? She grimaced. This is for her when she wakes up. I'm adding a clause to her contract. I don't want a repeat of today. He brushed his hair back and frowned. Honestly, again? He huffed as he shook his head back and forth, shifting back. Do you not like looking human? Hackett asked curiously. I don't, and it only happens randomly, he huffed. I don't want people recognizing me. He rolled the contract up and let it vanish for later summoning. Is it because you're worried about Eclipse? She looked to the sleeping woman. Oh, her hair. She tilted her head. It's black again. She looked and saw it was indeed darker and longer. He reached to touch it. First a wolf, now this, I swear.
whole thing.
Meanwhile, honey,
Sorry. Okay.
same. No, most of Eclipse's outfits craft designed once she starts working for Conductor. Craft. I've been wanting to do this for so long. Craft also hasn't seen her since she was younger, so he's like kind of excited. The last Craft saw Eclipse, she was about 8.
I should say up 300 years later, what's up, bitch?
What's up? The only decent adult figure I had in my life. It's funny because they're a murderer.
That's so fun.
Yeah. She would like you to pay attention to her and her needs. Pretty much. Her ribs now. Oh yeah, doll, your mask come today? I assume from the size of the package. I can't wait till my cursed Jeff Goldblum arrives. I did. He hasn't shipped yet, but I can't wait until he ships. I can't wait to have my cursed Jeff Goldblum. I'm gonna have my own very chaos deity. I feel that. I can't do anything straight. I am. Thank you for noticing. I think it's so funny. I can tell when certain people get online because then my inbox is filled. Oh, this is the one I think that says he just wants to fight. So it was from. Yeah, it's like my one snatcher. But I adopted the lassie. You cannot marry her. What? The old bird is looking for an excuse to mess with people and fight. Oh, I like that one. Yeah, I remember that. Oh, I like that purple one. Yeah. That one's aesthetic as fuck. Ow. It really sucks because occasionally it just shoots an entire shock of pain. It's like I'll just be sitting here trying to keep calm. Oh, you've lied. You've done the lying thing. It's kind of sus, Spud.
It was me. I mean,
I was joking with Zach today.
well, hey, I don't think we have to move on. It's not ours.
Joking with Zach today. It was just like, you're lucky I'm too tired to do the uwu voice. Unlike you guys who get to escape me from when I leave work, my sister can never escape me. He loved the fact you told me to shut the fuck up the other day.
I'll do it again. Oh, I got phone for him.
You think Boy's gonna come up for his birthday or no? Yeah, what's your Gmail? I can send you that document. Just type it there.
What's so sounds good?
Well, here's a nugget. Like nuggets.
Yeah, we all know.
I sent it to you.
Yes, I know that. I can talk to you.
Hmm. Yeah. Should have given you it. Did you click it with the wrong account? Give me a second. Should've. It says you're right there, viewer.
Everyone signed in already.
You know what's good? It's honey. It might be because I mentioned you in a post or something. Hmm? I just love that when I was reading it to you, like the snippet that goes with this, you were just like, this is before. Like you could just tell when he like hasn't done the thing that he needs to do. Tell her the
Fucking asshole.
tell
Okay.
the Alright, we're gonna go over this nice and slow so even an old man like you can understand. Kid. Cease and desist. Having issues about anything.
Okay. Pay attention.
Kid. Well, tapes her mouth shut. Alright, we're done with this. I don't want to stop hurting so badly. It's so fun because he's just like, I can't tell her, she'll be mad. Eclipse, who's already figured this out. She's just like, wait, she like doesn't understand. Like, she understands that it's probably because she keeps saying he's lonely. But she also stops doing that after a while when she realized. I think it's also funny the way she actually found out. He was just sleeping. Yeah, she basically... Eclipse looked to the purple man who slept in the oversized armchair. His face rested on his hand while the other rested on his open book. His long black hair fell over his face and shoulders, curling up at the ends. His mouth slightly open, the yellow glow faintly lighting up his hand as he slept soundly. She gave a small smile looking at him. No wonder he wouldn't let her meet the prince. She grabbed a blanket from the closet and unfolded it, gently tucking the ghost in with it. She brushed his hair back, taking in how he looked. A large pointed nose, slight bags under his eyes, small pointed ears. She smiled softly. Yeah, simply watching him sleep. That was good. She dusted her vest off and headed from the tree. Hopefully he'd get some decent sleep. Do ghosts need sleep? She wondered aloud as she headed to the village. Depends on the spectre, came the garbled voice of the badge seller. Muse on such things, songbird. She paused to the merchant with a shake of her head. Just a silly thought, she admitted. Snatcher fell asleep and Weller's sleeping. She raised a hand as one floated up, nuzzling into her cheek. She raised an arm to stroke its body. It rested on top of her scarf, round and round, watching the interaction curiously. Those little ones seem to enjoy you. It's only because I can interact with them. He can't direct... Yes, he actually is not allowed to directly say shit. He really wants to just be like, hey... He can't. Mother Moon has his neck tied. He's not allowed to say anything directly to help them. Because he doesn't want to end up like Twyla. Yeah. Why do you call me that? Because you remind me of the songbird I knew, he answered effortlessly. So I call you Songbird. I'd prefer you didn't, she admitted. She folded her arms up, her hands reaching midway to her arms, squeezing. I see. So then what is it you would prefer? Eclipse! She smiled happily, jumping and jolting the jewel on her shoulders. That's my name. He watched her and chuckled. Yes, a good name. I hope a name that serves you well. She stared at him, laughing. What a weird way to say that. But I know it well. It's my name given by Snatcher. She guided the dweller off. I need to get to work. Hope you make some sales. She waved as she headed off towards the library over the broken ridge. Eclipse, huh? Moonjumper floated away from his strings for a moment and thought, I wonder if it's strong enough, though. The scarf seems to work well enough, but still, I'm worried. He looked towards the large tree before him, the glowing soul orb writhing within its captive state. He sighed, staring at the jello. I really wish I could just get some scissors, or use the nightingale's halberd. The rising demon held his head. And I'm too dumb to think of anything to do. No, I'm not. He is. He fumed, trying to pull apart the memories that flooded his head. He winced. Why did I ever take this vessel? He laughed. He lamented as he floated back, lifting his puppet away from the village. He should take better steps. She's a good girl. He frowned, floating around angrily. 3 years, and I didn't think I had more nibs. I didn't know this thing had more nibs in it. Yeah, I can see this. Yeah, kinda, that's what he does. It pixels away. Like it doesn't render right. Yeah, pretty much that's what he does. I lost the one I took out of it. It's fine. I have a new nib. It's fine. Well, new nib. I was kind of trying to use it till I couldn't anymore. Why did I ever take this vessel? He lamented as he floated back, lifting his puppet away from the treasure. He should take better steps. She's a good girl, he fumed, floating around angrily. 3 years already, and they can't even talk about the lonely man. Hello, Songbird, it's me, him, Snatcher. And me, 300 years, and I'm still dealing with these infernal headaches. He leaned on the pool that gazed down to earth, looking at Snatcher as he slept. You suck so much! These memories are a hassle. Yeah, so pretty much Sun is just having a conniption. Like, it's so funny, the conniption he has. Oh. Gives him a blue hair tie. He's not subtle. Me or him? Well, considering I'm writing him. What the fuck is a subtle?
Um,
Oh, I think that's a scuttle. Oh, I was gonna watch Jurassic Park when I got home. You wanna watch dinosaurs with me?
okay.
Well, I'm not gonna make you. I'll watch it when I go upstairs. If you don't want to watch dinos, I won't make you watch dinos. I just like dinos. They go rawr.
Yes.
Should I make this out? Okay, so it's supposed to be their favorite colors. His favorite color is blues. But he's supposed to be wearing her favorite color, so it's like, literally, do I just draw them in their actual colors? Like, yeah. I'll give him blue. I'll give him purples, but a different shade of purple. Purple slacks. Yeah, he. Orange fucking purple sus. Snatcher and Eclipse. Yeah, he's an alien. Command already knows. He's legally sus. You know, I bet he really does have, like, just something that says, I can do what I want. No ejection, you'll make my wife upset. So, that's what her job is. Nope, med-based fuck now. Eat shit. Hellish. So what? Aren't I in jail for uwu crimes? Am I not in jail for uwu crimes right now? I thought I was in jail still. I thought I had still been jailed for uwu crimes.
No, you're not in jail.
Alright, I'll jail myself. I will continue the uwu crimes. Jailed for uwu. I'm sorry, don't you love my uwus? Why don't you love my uwus, Spud? Spud.
I love you.
My uwus. My uwus. Uwu. Spud, I'm this close. Your fingers touching. Meanwhile, snatch a snatch, snatch a boy, snatch a Reno, snatch D, snatch Skadoo. Yeah. I'm sorry, get better fish. Maybe if you just got good. Ow, ow. Oh, I love it, I love it, I love it. I love my life, I love my life. Screams in uwu. You know, for all of my uwu crimes, you still love me. And I will uwu until the ends of days. I'm not gonna lie, I thought that was thunder at first. And it was very. Yeah, I realized it was a dick after. I was just like, huh, weird. I didn't think we were getting thunderstorms. And then I heard the hissing. I'm like, ah, no, it's a dick running down the stairwell. Oh, too. Yeah, he's a prick. Prick me and kick this. Love you. Rude. Yeah. Yeah. You being stupid, Bubby? Yeah, I think that's his face, though. Bubberino! Bubby boy. Look at them ham hocks. What? Who let you be? Whoa, who let you be so chubby? Who let you go to the food dish so much? Seriously, why didn't you get any brain cells, cat? Why? Why are you so gorgeously stupid? Why are you a himbo of a cat? He's just a himbo. He's holding out for the himbo. The himbo is him. He really is. He's incredibly pretty. He's just so stupid. We hoped, we prayed that one day you would stop being so stupid, but here we are. But just look at these babies. I think the thing is too, which of them? Hey, at least they're not all the way up his thighs, they're just knee highs this time.
Yeah, but like the flags, man.
But he's a fucking noodle. Darling, pass me the binoculars. I want to watch. Look at that thought. So has he told her that he's Snatcher yet?
Yeah.
Has that been informed? Opens the window. Yo! Darling! Eclipse falls into the fountain. Snatcher glares. I think he's a little angry now. Oh, this is clearly not going to par. Tell her the truth! Kid, you're grounded! Harriet! She can ground me, that's my mom. Let go! I'm telling Snatcher! Oh, now we're grounded. Wouldn't you be grounded if he grounded you regardless? But if she grounds us, it's game over. We were at work and somehow we started. Oh, I remember what it was now. We were at work and someone was trying to get into the fridge next to my hip, but it wouldn't close because my hip was in the way. I just started laughing, and we started talking about the stupid dummy thick meme. Yeah, that was the joke. And then I was just like, I'm thinking about how Solid Snake's voice actor did that. Oh, I'm trying to sneak, but I'm so dummy thick. The clap of my ass cheeks keeps alerting the guards.